Hi, so theme for today's resilience tool is get moving. Talked a little bit about what if it sounds great to you to be someone who is really able to thrive and turn some adversity to your advantage, and you might really want to take this particular moment and do that, but often we kind of a bit unsure how do I do that. I want to do that, but I don't understand how. And one of the things I enjoy, instead of smashing my brain against a brick wall going how do I turn this to my advantage, is I find it much easier to say, well, how do I stuff this up? How do I take this situation I'm in that might be incredibly challenging already, with a number of reasons, and how do I really drive it further downhill? It's quite fun. You'd be surprised how quickly your brain can produce the information that you need, and then it's as simple as taking that and sometimes not doing that. Sometimes that's all we can do, especially when we're really on the back foot. Other times, you can take that list of things. Often just we have a little bit of a list here. It's called the Stuff Up Cascade. How do I make this spiral downhill, and just jot down a number of ways that you could do it, and then have another column, flip those on their head and say, well, what's the opposite of that? So I'll give you a brief example. One example topical at the moment as we return might be, how might be I'm a senior student, I've fallen behind in my coursework, I've fallen into some patterns of getting up late, and I'm really stressed like this year at my final year of school potentially, and I'm not going to get any credits. And if you take that situation, it may well be you didn't have internet access. It may well be you struggled with understanding and couldn't iterate that on an email, so you had no one to ask. And these things aren't necessarily our fault, but we're in this position, and rather than judging it and looking at it, we need to get moving with it, and we certainly don't want to hide from it either. And so how could I make that worse? Well, I won't come to school. Not going to ask for help. I'm going to arrive at school. I'm going to compare with all my peers and stress even more, and just build this into something bigger and bigger, rather than because I don't know what to do about it. So I might not talk with my teachers about it. Might row with my parents about it. Might be true, and not even come to school. If we look at often just not doing those things, they will in themselves level the playing field a little bit, and okay, well, I'm going to show up then, even though I don't know what to do, and I'm going to not compare with others. I'm just going to come and listen and be open-minded and see where I'm at, and often that will give us a way forward, or someone will come and suggest a way forward, or we could do that step ourselves and go, well, what's the opposite of not addressing this problem? Is seeking help. Not looking backwards at what I did or what I could have done differently, but looking at, well, what do I need to do to bridge that gap? Or how do I look at my credits and protect the ones that I can access, and where can I access them? Which ones are available, and which ones should I look at first? So, quick example for you. Here's another one. It's really different, but it might be the situation some of you are in. And what I want you to do with this task is just pick your scenario. It could be a small part of how you're feeling. It could be a global thing with just generally coming back. But I know things have been a challenge socially, and I think one of the biggest difficulties is when we've made a mistake with our friends, when we've done that probably at a distance on social media, that's really hard to gauge and respond to relationships and keep them genuine. And so you might, for example, have sent a text that got misinterpreted, and you're just going back to school unsure, with a lot of social concerns about where you stand, maybe with a best friend or something, and just going back feeling really unsettled about your what that relationship's going to be like. So how could I stuff this up? I'm sure, there's plenty of ways. Could avoid that person, talk to other people about it instead of to them. Send another text that's unclear, that makes things worse, or create a bigger drama than it needs to be. And so flip those on its head. That often tells you what you need to do. And often what you need to do isn't complicated. And that's the beauty of this exercise. We all know how to make this worse. We often know how to stuff up even worse than we already have. And the cool thing about this is when you look at the opposite to that, it often isn't difficult. It isn't complicated. It can be uncomfortable, but it will give you a path forward. So have fun. However, we could stuff up our return to school is going to indicate to you, if you do the opposite to that, you're going to go forward and thrive.